this meeting of the Gregg Township Board of Supervisors to order, and let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There is no one signed up for public comment. We'll move on to liaison reports, solicitor's report.
Further into the agenda this evening, there's an item relating to services that were offered to be provided by the constable. I've reviewed it between roughly last month's meeting and today, and I have concerns about the services that are offered in the memorandum. And based on that, I think it's fair to say that the board is not going to approve the proposal from Constable Grove. I wanted to raise that issue personally, though, because, again, I think much of this is based on my advice to the board. Yes, and before the meeting, there was an executive session to discuss security issues and pending litigation.
Emergency Management Coordinator.
About 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday night, we had that heavy winds and etc. We were back in Wing Valley and Bonita Gap and a couple of the other roads. Found one big pine tree down. We cut that up, got it off the road. And I'll be going to training on the 26th of November at the Center County Public Safety Training Center. It's hazardous material response and unified command training and exercise. And that's about all I have.
Actually, before we keep going on liaison reports, we can jump to the BCM Holdings plan. I should have had you up top.
Bob Myers, Hallmaker Engineering, here tonight to present the final plan for Century Estates, which is up at our Hollow Road. I presented the plan to the Planning Commission last week, which was the first meeting they had since November, or since August, or I wasn't there sooner, but as of now, all the infrastructure has been installed except for electric service, due to the fact that West Penn is, I think as of yesterday, just finalized their design, so they weren't able to put that stuff in. But we had the final walkthrough with the county and county engineer and township engineer yesterday. Everything's fine with them. I provided a copy of the developer's financial security agreement to David for him to review. Right now, the bond has not been issued, so I can't ask you to sign the security agreement or the plans until we have that. But if I could conditionally get you guys to conditionally approve it pending the bond, that you guys will sign it outside of the meeting. And I anticipate we'll have the bond probably early next week. That's kind of where we are, and then we can get the plan recorded in the spring. I'm planning on going back in and putting the electric service in, and in the meantime, they can start to advertise lots for sale then. You guys have any questions, concerns?
Doug, you can have this copy, right?
I have
Had it at Planning Commission.
No, okay.
Well, they look at it. Are there any unusual notes or comments on any of the things?
Not really.
Okay.
No. And everything's been through the counties and the township engineer. Everything's been addressed and instructed per plan.
So the motion will be for signing conditionally on receiving of the bond.
Which I can provide that to the finalized agreement to you, and then once you bless it, I'll go through and contact the township and get the signatures.
I'll entertain a motion to conditionally approve signing the final plan contingent on issuance of the bond.
I will make that motion. Second here.
Any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Should that be bond and?
Bond, yeah. Motions for the bond and security agreement.
Yeah, we have some of these here now, right?
Yeah, they would have been, you guys would have got copies back in probably August.
The same one, the exact same one?
There's been some minor modifications, but nothing, you know.
We can keep one of the copies in the one of
Yeah.
those
Yeah, okay.
Well, you guys will get, once this plan's recorded, you're gonna get a
final.
final plan
Okay.
that's signed and stuff, so that's up. If you guys wanna keep one of those until that,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You want this one back there?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Gregg Township Fire Company.
This last month, so I didn't get to report on our gun raffle. It was really good. We made good money and we had a lot of fun. The $5,000 donation that I heard you folks talk about the other night, that I wasn't here for. One of you said you'd like it to go toward gear. The other one said you'd like to go toward trucking. We just bought about 10 sets of gear through our grant money and also through Firearms Relief. We are also in the midst of downsizing. We have 3 pieces of apparatus over there that really don't make sense. In a rural fire department, we'd like to carry 3,000 gallons of water. We're about 700 gallons short with the tanker we have now. Not only that, that tanker is a humongous payment. We could have bought a pretty nice tandem tanker for the money we're paying for that thing. I'm not sure how that happened, but I'd like to fix that and remedy that somehow. Hopefully get something that'll hold a little more water. So as far as that $5,000 goes, I'm not sure how you want to do that. We're very thankful for that, by the way. I'm not sure what you want to put it towards. Operating costs are our biggest expense right now. And we pay that right out of pocket with, our fundraisers and things. We'll let you guys decide on that. The Pennsylvania House has right around 12 bills right now that they're working through to try to create some relief for volunteers in the fire and EMS service. A lot of them are things that have to do with real estate transfer tax and realty transfer tax for surviving spouse and children, first responder and things like that. They're also talking about student loan forgiveness and things along that line. They're pretty good bills. If you care to take a look at them, it might inspire some people to help out. The other thing I have is, as far as money goes again, our building over there is extremely dilapidated and extreme poor condition, especially the 3rd floor. We just had mold remediation come in and clean our kitchen because we weren't able to serve food because of mold. We have a roof leak that's leaking into the window. On the east side of the building at the top, you can see the window leaning in, the roof framing's all rotted out around it. Unfortunately, this has been going on for years and let go. So now we're at the point where we're into big time repairs. The estimate on the 3rd floor of the building is $40,000 to get it fixed. I can't say it. We spent $4,000 to get our kitchen fixed and rid of the mold so we could serve food. So that was enough, and Mammoth did that out of the goodness of their hearts. They knew that our insurance wouldn't cover it, which we did try to do, and the insurance said that obviously that's not covered because of building neglect, so we had to pay that out of our pockets. So Mammoth worked with us and did it at their cost, just enough to pay their guys and pay for the equipment that they used in our kitchen, air purifiers and things like that. They let run is, like I said before, we're going to try to come up with some kind of plan. We have some plans drawn for a new station. Obviously, it's going to take the money. We're going to try to get a lot of help from the Amish community, and I'm also going to try to get some help from big places like Lowe's, Home Depot, and things like that. And I'm also going to get with Dave Immel and see if he can try to find some grant somewhere, somehow, that'll help us build a station, because we have got to do something. The other thing I have is, I was looking at the budget, and I had some questions on it, if you don't mind. Is that all right? Or not?
Just the time.
Is it an or not?
You're looking at the proposed budget?
I was just looking at the top line for fire company contributions, and I had a question about some of the things around.
Sure.
Okay. Fire company liability insurance, $12,000. I don't know what that's for, or where it's going, or whatever. I didn't know anybody here paid that. So,
It's paid every year. That's a line item that's on there every single
Okay.
year.
all right. And the fireman's relief, I guess we already talked about that. It's just kind of in and out. And then the workers' comp. So that my big question is liability insurance. I broke it down into about $17,368 is what we pay for the year for our liability insurance.
I had a question a while back about the workers' comp, and apparently that can only go through the township. Just the way.
Yeah, that's always been through the township, correct? Yeah. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
You did mention about bingo tomorrow night, right?
I'm sorry.
You mentioned about bingo tomorrow night. You have bingo tomorrow night.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, we have bingo tomorrow night. Early birds at 6 and regular bingo at 6:30. Thank you.
Anything else for the fire company? Old Gregg School?
We'd like the Board of Supervisors to support our budget for the 2019-2020 year based on last year's budget. It's a little different, that's staying pretty well the same. An update on the Winter Craft Fair. As of 11/1/2019, we had 47 vendors registered. We have advertising flyers out. There's new banners that we bought that we can use year to year. It just says first Saturday of December. And we have one of them out here in the fence. I don't know if everybody saw it. We're getting 2 more to put up. And we would like the Board of Supervisors to support a recommendation to use CMS seal coating, seal parking lot. It's going to be done in 2 phases. This year they're going to go in and seal all the cracks. Next year they're going to put 2 coats on the parking lot. That's all I have.
I'll entertain a motion to hire CMS seal coating to seal the Old Gregg School parking lot for their quote of $5,945.
I will make that motion.
I will second it.
Any further discussion?
None.
I just want to add that estimate doesn't include line painting, but it's still cheaper with the line painting than the other, so. Okay,
Okay.
I'm in favor.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous.
Okay. Regarding the building here, the gym floor was waxed on Tuesday, November 12th, and it looks absolutely great, I think. All the concrete steps, the handicap ramp, the sidewalks, the boiler room entrance were all coated with concrete sealer. About half of that sealer came from the day of caring. We didn't have any volunteers, but they did give us 10 gallons of sealer. I had to buy a few cans from Hostman Stover also. The oil filter, the fuel filter, and antifreeze were replaced in the Old Gregg School emergency generator. We already talked about seal coating. Gary Horner is finishing up with the brickwork out front. I heard today they're nearly finished. They still need to clean it up a little bit, but from what I've seen, it looks good. for somebody to plow snow. I have one estimate and a request in for 2 more. So far, I just have 1. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to do something pretty quick here, though.
So if anybody knows anybody that's looking for plowing jobs, but they have to be here first thing in the morning. So if anybody knows anyone else.
Yeah, they should be right here in the area.
Anything you have, Pam, for Old Gregg?
No.
Penn Valley Code Enforcement Agency, he sent his report. You also have the budget. We have our code agency meeting on Tuesday. So I need a motion to approve the code agency's budget so that I can approve that at the meeting on Tuesday.
Well, we have it here? Is it on the back of?
Oh, I gave them all to you.
Let me see. There, over there. I haven't looked at it. Let's just.
It doesn't, it really doesn't have anything to do with, I mean, we don't put any money into it other than what they charge for.
It's not asking for any money.
Correct.
Okay. Well. And it's neutral, no surplus, and no deficit. Yeah, I'll make the motion, we approve it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Penn Valley EMS, Lindsay could not make it tonight. She said nothing new is really going on, but there is the meeting on December 4th with the consultant that they hired to review and give a report on that. So if anybody's able to attend, that will be an open meeting on December 4th. Regional Planning Commission, we have a meeting
Monday. Yeah. I just want to say on the agenda is discuss public safety, this public safety chapter and regional comprehensive plan, and discuss regional equipment that might be available in the event of emergency.
Planning Commission finally met for the first time in several months. The only real thing on the agenda was what we discussed with VCM and signing that, and they approved signing it as well. Tri-Municipal Park.
So I don't forget, there's 2 other very minor things I want to bring up. One is a tour of the stream work up here we talked about, and there will be a tour Sunday for a limited number of people. Anyone that's interested, let me know, and we'll be meeting up at the Railroad Bridge at 2:30. They're doing some live plantings of cuttings on part of the project they did, and they took this time out to do a tour. So let me know if you're interested, and well, hopefully we can have a broader tour for more people in the future. But the weather's kind of getting cold, and at least we have street water in the stream now to be able to see how some of this stuff works. So that's a good thing. So that's Sunday at 2:30, and let me know if you're interested in attending. I'll comment very briefly on the items you have on the Tri-Municipal Park here. The farm lease agreement, I did some edits on it for the next 5-year lease. Basically, we were supposed to, and we really didn't do this in the past, but we're supposed to have an agricultural committee to work with whomever gets awarded the lease of the farmland. And I've formally approached an individual to help with that. And what I really tried to put into that lease is a little more emphasis on soil health and soil management and so forth. I've included in there that there'll be one soil health field day for agricultural producers and other folks sometime during that 5-year period, and just some minor tweaking and so forth. So I would encourage you to consider accepting that. Certainly if you have comments, let us know. I'm hoping we don't get 3 sets of comments from 3 solicitors and it takes 2 months to get this finalized. But have you looked at it yet?
And actually, John and I both did. I was in Bellefonte one day.
Oh, okay.
It's fine by me. I just as a lease, I wasn't sure if there were specific issues that, you know, you might want to look through some more, but we can talk.
I don't think there have been issues in the past, have there?
No, there hasn't been. We just wanted, like I say, to get a little more in, and we really didn't follow through with the producer on doing the soil testing. That's twice in there, and we want to get soil test the first year. And we want to do a soil health test. The person I talked to about serving in this committee wanted to put in there that the farmer would be responsible for the cost of that testing. And we're having trouble getting farmers. So I think we need to take that responsibility. It's $60. We probably do one at the beginning of the lease and then one like the 5th year of the lease. But I didn't want to make this thing too complicated because, as I said, we are having trouble getting farmers. Now, I've talked to Alan Ishor, he's president of the Farm Bureau in the county, and he's going to try to coordinate when they do a mailing so we can get that out through all the Farm Bureau membership. And I think he said that's over 600 people. That's not all farmers. But anyway, that's where we are kind of with that lease. And I guess it simplifies things if you do what you have on here about allowing Doug to vote on when we get the bids come in. And hopefully the other municipalities will do the same thing with that. So we're trying to move that along. Really the only other thing as far as updates, the disc golf course is really ready to go now. There's a little more ground leveling. I thank Doug for the work he's done up there to help with that. I think it froze up on us and we didn't get everything, but that doesn't keep us from playing. So the holes are there. Have you been up, Gary? Okay, well, I'd encourage anybody who's interested in disc golf or frisbee golf, whatever you want to call it, to go up. You turn left at the main road at Samus's and keep going until you get to a parking lot. I wanted to measure, it's probably, I would guess, maybe 3/10 of a mile back there, something like that. But there's parking area back there, and so it's open and ready to go. And we've gotten the seeding we did, the 9 acres of seeding we did, looks like it's coming along well. We've had some mowing done. And we did get awarded a grant which will allow us to get about 75 1 to 2 inch diameter trees this coming year. So we'll see some trees up there of some size to show people that things are moving forward that way. And we talked a little bit when Paul was here last month, but we will be having a little more detail in our November meeting about putting 2 grants together with a fundraising effort to really move things out and get that first quarter done. So I encourage anyone to go up, see me if you want to have a supervised visit up there. I'll go up with you or Doug. And I guess the only other thing is we did submit a budget to you. It's a modest budget and it's a modest request, and we hope you can give us that much support to help us move forward for next year's. Any questions from you
The
folks?
story, did you mention the story walk?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe you want to talk about it. You were more involved in the story walk than I was.
Well, yeah. The story walk is a series of about 20 kiosks, like pipes in the ground with a platform, and on each platform is a story. It's for children to go along. They read part of the story and then walk and read more of it, and so on until they go through all 20. Center County Library has funded that, and they change the stories periodically too, so there's always something different there to look at. So I think it will add some activity to the park.
Yeah, I was up when they had the open house 2 weeks ago, Saturday, and at each one of those stations it has the reading, and then it tells the child what they should do at that station to get a little bit of exercise, whether, you know, whatever, do like this or whatever, kind of something to get kids to do something besides just walking around. But it's good if they're just walking around too, that's also good. And we did get some more trails, signage up on some more trails too, other than the paved trail. I think that was signs were put up this week. So that's really all I have if there's no other questions. Thanks for bringing up the story walk. That was completely funded by the Library Association. Yeah. And they've indicated to have some more funds, so I think we're trying to think, you know, what else could we do to use some of that money in a useful way to to help the park.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're working on that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So you're fine with the language? I'll entertain a motion to approve the farm lease agreement as edited.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. I'll entertain a motion to authorize Doug Bailey to vote on the farm lease bids when they come in.
I will make that motion.
Can I second it? I guess I can. Huh? I'll second it.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Water and sewer authorities, I don't believe we got a report, so there must be nothing to report. Secretary Treasurer's report, I'll entertain a motion to approve the October 10th Board of Supervisors minutes.
I will make that motion.
Second here.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Motion to accept and approve the all funds financial report.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Motion to approve the November 6th budget meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I will second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Motion to approve the November 11th budget meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. We don't need to make a motion to advertise the 2020 budget. We did that at the November 11th budget meeting unless any changes before we do that. Nope.
Okay.
Right to know officers report. Anything you want to address on that?
I think I need to say personally, as being a new person to this township, I did not know what I was walking into. For the most part, I love being here with everybody, but it's a little overwhelming sitting in my seat as a right-to-know officer and getting bombarded as much as I do. It's really hard to get done the necessary things that a township secretary needs to get done. It's really hard, and I just think more and more people out there need to understand the problem that we have here. As an outsider, I feel for everybody in this township. As the secretary, pray for me. But I think everybody needs to be aware of the situation. More and more people in this town need to be aware of the situation.
We've had a lot of discussions about this as well, and I, like Pam, I could go on and on. What I will say is our philosophy is often not to get into specifics at these meetings because we don't want the meetings to go long, and I just don't see any value to bringing up these issues at a meeting. However, at budget season, it is important to realize that your budget's a lot higher because you're constantly in court, and you're not constantly in court because of things that the township, in my opinion, has done wrong. And you know, we continue as a firm to work with the township on these matters, but I agree with what Pam is saying.
What can we do?
Talk to your legislators. I mean, if I had a good solution, I would provide it, and I just don't have one. There's a right to know law that says people can follow certain procedures.
To be honest, if I would have known this was going on, I would have not taken the job.
Roadmaster's report.
We don't really have a lot, I guess, since we were here last time. We started putting up the snow fence. Gonna start working on trim some trees, putting up our signs for the year, and the mandatory PennDOT sign replacement program. All our trucks should be ready, they're gonna get to plow snow. And we did, other than a few small electrical hookups, the above ground storage tank is pretty well wrapped up. You guys gotta come back for a couple hours, finish that up, and we should be done on that. So,
We submitted the PennDOT multimodal application last week. That was quite a lot of work to get that application done. But we had a lot of support from the county and private funding. So hopefully our application looks good, and we'll know in March whether or not we're awarded that funding. Anything else for roads? Okay.
The bridge is open, and we don't need to lower bridges around, we don't need to worry about it till spring then, right? Till they finish.
Yeah,
I guess that's another thing that we
Oh, yeah.
can touch base a little bit on.
guide rails.
Had numerous comments from residents around saying about, some of the new stuff, the way people do stuff about the bridge. As far as the guide rails and whatnot, now we have a 24-foot bridge, and it's like 17, 18 foot with the guide rails that is required by PennDOT to put in there. Before we had a 14-foot bridge and a 16-foot road, so does it make a whole lot of sense? Maybe not, but it's kind of out of our hands. There's a high impact, the crash ends. One, they flare out, and one that's out into traffic was a major concern at the final bridge meeting. Carrie, I guess she knows that we talked to the people that were there as well. Didn't think that was the best thing. It kind of shot cars out into oncoming traffic on the opposite side of the bridge and the south side of the bridge. So they're going to come back and put different end treatments on 3 of the 4 guardrail ends. So don't think we're wasting money putting guardrails up where we don't need them. It's not our fault. We're just playing by their rules.
Okay, unfinished business, underground storage tank, we've already addressed that. Penns Cave Road, Randy wants to meet again to talk about the proposal. I don't know if there's any time, you've mentioned something about next week. So you can get to me if there's any days or times that'll work, so I can get back to him. We had the town messaging system presentation. What that is it sends out text alerts, voice call alerts, and email alerts to anybody that signs up for that. And there's the option, or the opportunity that we can work together with the fire company, where you guys would also have an admin to this messaging system, where you could send out alerts to say, avoid this road, or we have fire police here, or something like that. So we can talk about that more if we go down this road. We have put it in the budget. So I'll entertain a motion to move forward with town messaging system.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
No, dear.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. We have number 5, new business. We had Steve McZuga give his resignation because he moved out of the area for auditor. So I will entertain a motion to appoint Tom Corman to replace him effective January 1, 2020.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. We had the Geisinger insurance come in, it only went up 6%, which is pretty good considering all the other insurances everywhere. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the same Geisinger insurance plan.
I will make that motion.
Second here.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. We need to advertise to hire the CPA that we do annually, so I'll entertain a motion to advertise to hire the CPA for the annual audit.
I will make that motion.
Second here.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Correspondence, we had a letter from the Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority asking us to sign a resolution, basically to educate, that we will encourage education among the community regarding recycling.
Do they have suggestions?
No, it just says area of interest, select all that apply. And the two options are promoting education and outreach, just communicating what, where, and how materials can be recycled. And then enhancing material management infrastructure, that one doesn't really apply to us. Basically, it's approving a pledge to encourage better recycling.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put recycling news on the website or something.
I'll entertain a motion to take the pledge proposed by the Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority to encourage education about recycling.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Anything else for the good of the order?
Not here.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second here.
Motion to adjourn, oh, actually, before we adjourn,
Yeah.
we need to schedule another budget meeting for the first week of December. It cannot be Monday or Wednesday. OGS is the second Tuesday. So Tuesday or Thursday. would be our
Is it the first Tuesday? It's the first Tuesday.
Okay, Thursday the 5th, does that work for everyone?
Which one?
6:30.
I'm okay.
Okay. Entertain a motion to advertise Thursday the 5th of December for a budget meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
And I will second the motion.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.